You are right on time for Hope TV Newswatch on this 5th day of December 2023. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Ken Kimaniå and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation tonight is Boniface Murithi. Now let's get straight into it. And control of budget Margaret Nyango has been charged with forgery and conspiracy to defraud. This follows her arrest today in connection with the complaint made against her in 2016. Nyango, however, denied the charges and was released on a 500,000 shillings cash bail. Nyango, together with 10 other people, was also charged with operating a circle without a license, forgery, and uttering a false document of the penal code. The hearing has now been set for Wednesday next week.
I hereby admit her to a bond in the sum of Kenya shillings 2 million with one surety of similar amount. There is an alternative of Kenya shillings 500,000 cash bail. Summons to issue that is against the other 10 who are not in court today.
Kenya has committed to strengthening bilateral ties with India. President William Ruto says the two countries share historical ties dating back to the 18th century and beyond. The president, who is on a 2-day state visit to India, has noted that the two countries are keen on enhancing trade, investment, education, digital economy, healthcare, research, and agriculture, among other areas of cooperation for the benefit of its people. Our very own reporter Grace Ahati has the details.
Kenya has continued to strengthen its bilateral ties with various countries across the world, the latest being India, where President William Ruto concludes a 2-day state visit today. Addressing the press during the visit, Ruto noted that the two countries share historical ties dating back to the 18th century and beyond, adding that they are keen on enhancing trade, investment, education, digital economy, healthcare, research, and agriculture, among other areas of cooperation for the benefit of its citizens. The president at the same time met with the managing director of the Exim Bank of India, Harsha Bangari, whereby they discussed the establishment of the bank's regional headquarters in Kenya, with Ruto observing that such investments are key to the country's socio-economic growth.
We need to consolidate the relationship between Kenya and India. We are looking at how we can create partnership in the space of rural development, especially agriculture. We'll be looking at a space of how we can share in manufacture of vaccines, both for animal and human. We're looking at what we can do about genomics. We will be signing an agreement on also the digital space.
President Ruto has also witnessed the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Open University of Kenya and the Indira Gandhi National Open University. The agreement aims to transform Kenya's plans and strengthen its technological infrastructure.
We will be signing an agreement on also the digital space. We have a lot to learn from this great country, especially in the digital space. We have already, I did send from Kenya our Ministry of ICT to pick up lessons on digital ID, digitizing government services, leveraging on the enabler nature of technology in providing government service.
The president also met the chief executive officer of Procop Enertech Private Limited, Srinivasa Raju Ganavarapu, further highlighting the investment opportunities in the Lake Region Economic Camp. Siaya Governor James Orengo and his Nandi counterpart Stephen Sang also attended this meeting. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Thank you so much, Grace, for that report. The government is set to add more security camps and the National Police Service in the North Rift region so as to supplement the capabilities of the National Police Service and the Kenya Defence Forces in the Operation Maliza Uhalifu. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, together with local security heads and field commanders, today visited Namba and Kamenjo areas that were recently attacked and held an impromptu view-taking session with members of the local community at Ngaratuku Primary School grounds in Baringo County. At the same time, the CS held a strategy and operational review, meeting with operational commanders, heads of various security agencies, and commanders of formed-up units.
Hii haiwezi kuwa ni nchi ambayo mtu ana kazi yake, ako na mifugo wake, jambazi anakuja na mpiga risasi anamuua, anachukua mifugo yake. Sio siku moja, sio siku mbili, sio mwezi moja, haiwezekani. Lazima tuweke kikomo kwa mambo haya. Kwa hivyo naomba radhi kwa yale ambayo yalitendeka, na mimi nimesema ya kwamba tumejitolea kuhakikisha kwamba tukishirikiana na nyinyi hii shida tumeimaliza. Tutaongeza idadi ya NPRs hapa, sababu NPRs wanasaidiana sana na maafisa wetu, na hao ndio first line of defense. Na tumesema vile NPR watafanya kazi kwa ushirikiano na officers wetu kuhakikisha hao wa majangili wakijaribu kitu ingine kabla hata ya chochote tumewalalisha chini, na wakijaribu kutoroka tutatumia mbinu zote za ardhi, za angani, tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumewakomesha. Tutaongeza camps za security ambazo zinahitajika. Tumeangalia mahali wanapenyea, tunaziba hizo nafasi, na vile tunaenda kufungua barabara mpya za security za pande hii.
Makueni County Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. has addressed the County Assembly on the state of the county. In his speech, the governor said that since he came to power last year, he has improved the provision of services to citizens in various sectors, especially through the digital program known as My County App, which his government launched to help the residents of the county to access county services easily. Nicholas Kivite has more details.
In his State of the County address at the Makueni County Assembly, Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. has said that his government has improved the delivery of services to the residents of the county through a digital program developed by the government in collaboration with Safaricom. Concerning the health sector, Kilonzo has said that in 1 year that he has been in office, his government has built 3 health facilities and renovated 67 other facilities in an effort to improve the provision of health services.
On the health infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, since assuming leadership as governor, my administration has constructed 3 new facilities and improved and renovated 67 others to improve quality of health. This brings the total of facilities to 241, up from 238. The new facilities are KO, Top, in Kasikyo, Kwandava Dispensary, Boma Somba, and Changinyo Dispensary in Kikumbolio South.
The governor has said that his government has planned ambitious strategies to improve the farming sector in the county, while promising to construct a large dam in Masongaleni ward in collaboration with other non-government organizations. According to the governor, the dam is expected to benefit more than 65,000 people and approximately 500,000 livestock.
The construction of Outini Yekita, famously referred to as Uyi Earth Dam in Masongaleni ward, in collaboration with the National Drought Management Authority. The dam will benefit 65,000 people and 500,000 livestock. The total cost of the project is 55 million, with NDMA contributing 40, county government contributing 10, and the community contributing 5 million in kind.
Kilonzo added that his government will continue to collaborate with various organizations to develop various projects for the benefit of the residents of Makueni, while saying that 112 families have benefited from the GOAT project, a project started by his county when he ascended into power last year to benefit the less fortunate.
Kilograms of grass and distributed 215 Ghana breeding goats to 112 farmers in Kikumbolio South Ward. This strategy, members, identifies a population of 1,716,000 chicken in Makueni. This is a potential income earning value chain for the people of Makueni. And I urge, as you discuss the strategy, to find means for getting market for the people who are in this value chain.
The governor has noted that his government will continue to provide more employment opportunities, while announcing that so far he has given jobs to 499 ECD teachers on a permanent contract. He has added that his government will recognize and motivate employees who are more committed to their work to improve their performance in the county. Reporting for Newswatch, my name is Nicholas Kivite.
Thank you so much, Kivite, for that report. Now, employers have been urged to have programs that address the mental well-being of their employees. This was said during a mental health forum hosted by Safaricom in collaboration with Minet Kenya that brought together stakeholders and decision makers from the private sector and government to spearhead an initiative addressing mental health concerns within the workplace. The forum, themed Unlocking Minds, Transforming Futures, aimed to broaden perspectives on how current mental health initiatives may be affecting employees. Our very own Alice Diana with the details.
According to World Health Organization, 75% of employees have experienced a mental health problem at work, with women in full-time employment twice as likely to have a common mental health problem compared to men, emphasizing the need for organizations to put in place measures to safeguard the mental health of employees. In this regard, Safaricom, in partnership with Minet Kenya, today held the first transformative mental health forum that brought together experts in the mental wellness space to unravel the keys to fostering a healthier and happier workplace.
That's back to them.
Esteem issues, self-awareness, stress, and anxiety are among the key issues that were mentioned to be causing mental well-being challenges among the staff at the workplace.
As we have spoken during the conference, we find ourselves in a space where most of the staff are between 25 and 28, younger generation, and the top issues, 21% of that school, or that 3,500 people, had either esteem issues or self-awareness issues. So this seems to be a major challenge for most of these people. There is also stress and anxiety, and it's both ways. It is work-related, but it's also family-related. A lot of young people are struggling with marriage. A lot of people are struggling with actually just being able to raise children, and the financial implications that come around being able to deliver for your family the kind of lifestyle that you would want. I think the next, I've already mentioned marital issues as the third, actually. The fourth is adolescence and teenage issues.
During the forum, it was noted that a workforce that feels supported, understood, and empowered is not just productive, it becomes the driving force that propels an organization ahead in the competitive landscape.
Organizations must have an element of bringing in place programs that can then help employees proactively before it becomes a crisis. Most organizations will have a workforce running between, in terms of average age, about 35. And what we are seeing then is, how do you then work with the organization, with your people, to ensure that you address mental well-being?
According to Dr. Frank Njenga, founder and CEO of Chiromo Hospital Group, the services for the promotion of the employees' wellness and mental health should be a continuous process.
It's not something that you do on a particular day nominated by the board or nominated by government for that matter. It's continuous and is part of the day-to-day activities of the organization. And fundamentally, the important component are as follows. Number one important one is promotion of health. Because you can't assume that because you're healthy today, you'll be healthy tomorrow without doing anything about it. You need to be cognizant of how to promote your mental health every day. And a good working environment is part of that promotion. The second one, which is very important, is early recognition. The early recognition of mental illness makes sure that the outcomes of treatment are dramatically better. And thirdly, is the fact of ensuring that those who are diagnosed with mental health needs are given the opportunity to get better.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Alice, for that report. Food and Land Use Coalition Kenya and other partners of the coalition have today hosted the World Soil Day Conference, themed Enhancing Soil Health for Sustainable Food Systems in Nairobi. The conference brought together more than 100 stakeholders to discuss the vital role soil health and management play in pursuing food production that meets the nutritional needs of Kenya's growing population.
Looking at the positioning of soil in this government and looking at the agenda for this government on food security, we need a healthy environment for maximum production and also to produce healthy food, not only for Kenya but also for the world for export. So today, as we celebrate this day as a country, I would like to tell Kenyans that the government has put up a soil policy management plan, which going forward, the government is going to roll out to ensure that our soil structure for agriculture is made healthy so that we can have maximum production of our crops and our produce, both for national and also for the global market.
Crossing borders now, and Guinea-Bissau President Umaro Sissoco Embalo has dissolved the national parliament ahead of fresh elections, saying an attempted coup had plunged the West African nation into a new crisis. The president issued the decree closing down the opposition-dominated parliament and announced that a date for legislative elections will be set at the opportune moment, in line with the constitution. Since gaining independence from Portugal in 1974, the country has seen a series of coups and coup attempts. Elected to a 5-year term in December 2019, Embalo survived a bid to overthrow him in February last year. Well, you are watching Hope TV News, which is now time for a quick break. But after the break, I'll be back with the business and sports news. Stick around.
It's finally here! The breakfast show that will kickstart your morning with a message of hope, coupled up with wholesome music, and of course, captivating conversations that matter to you.
We shall touch on topics on law, relationships, the Christian walk, and in addition, we will also be keeping you up to date with news and all the trending topics.
Join me, Beatrice Watare,
and me, George Gishuru, every Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Hope at Dawn.
Only on Hope TV, where you look
and live.
Let's get down to business, shall we? Members of the Kisii County Assembly have passed a 13.8 billion shilling supplementary budget. The revised budget aims to address key issues with regard to budget deviation in the various votes occasioned by resource realignment and other emerging unforeseen scenarios. The chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, Peter Utachi, said the county has been consistently running deficit budgets, majorly because of its failure to meet the local revenues targets.
You have a deficit or you have extra funds, or when you have an emergency. In this case, in Kisii County here today, we had an emergency or we had unforeseen expenditure. For example, we had the issue of salaries. Salaries were affected by the house levy. They were affected by the NSSF and also salary increment that was done by SRC. We also had the issue of the industrial park. Members are all aware that the industrial park was allocated 250 million, both to be funded by the county government and the national government. But as it stands today, the national government did not allocate any funds to Kisii County. So we had to look for the 250. And for a start, we've given it 150 so that it can be a multi-year project. We also have the Mother and Child Hospital at KTRH. We've allocated it an amount worth 100 million so that we can start working on it, so that at least we can also deliver to our people. We also had the issue of the OC stadium. We've given it 20 million for completion. You all know that Shabana uses that stadium as the home field, so we've given it 20 million so that it can be completed. We also have other issues, like we have contracted staff who will be helping us in labor-based maintenance. We've given them an allocation of 50 million so that we can start with it for the next 6 months. We see how it goes, and then in the forward budget, maybe we can do 200 million or something of the whereabouts. Then we also had the issue of tractors, because we realized most of the members of the county assembly, including the governor, when there's a funeral or an emergency, we don't have enough machineries. So we've allocated 50 million, so we can, 80 million, so that we can purchase the tractors, and also 50 million to fuel the graders.
We are waiting for development. I've also asked the chair who is here with me that procurement is late. We are now 6 months into the budget, and we need to procure. Because if we don't procure in time and start projects in time, we are going also to carry forward one of these projects. So we need to hit the ground running, and we need to serve the people. That is it. So procurement process must be expedited, and the chair is here. I'll talk to the leader of majority. That is what we need.
Now, following the rising cases of gender-based violence in the public transport sector, the Principal Secretary in the State Department for Gender and Affirmative Action, Nyango, is on Thursday scheduled to hold a consultative meeting with the NTSA officials and Matatu Owners Association to collectively address the rising cases of GBV and sexual harassment to female passengers and foster an environment that safeguards their rights. Now, according to the 2021 Women and Public Transport in Nairobi study, 52% of women reported witnessing sexual harassment while using public transport, with 27.9% personally experiencing such harassment.
Even the Matatu was impounded. Clearly, Matatu industry happens to be a hotspot for GBV, or that is gender-based violence. Our women, our young girls, even sometimes men, are really harassed. And for that reason, I have made arrangements to hold a meeting with the stakeholders, key stakeholders, that is NTSA, as well as the Matatu Owners Association, the police, and other key stakeholders in the industry, so that we can once and for all bring sanity in this industry. We cannot forget the border people as well. They are known for harassing mainly women. We cannot forget cases that we've been hearing about certain cabs, like Bolt. Sorry, I have to mention that. So we have to bring some level of sanity in this industry so that our women, our men, our children, our young girls can remain safe. We need to live in a society where everyone feels safe and protected. And to that effect, the State Department is ready and very committed to walk an extra mile to ensure that this dream of having each and every individual in this country feeling safe and protected, that dream is realized.
And to some sports in action now, to the good news of the day, and Kakamega Homeboys goalkeeper Ibrahim Wanzala was the hero after saving 2 penalties to help the Junior Stars defeat Tanzania 4-3 in post-match penalties and qualify for the final of the Sekafa Under-18 Boys Championship. The closely fought semi-final contest had ended goalless in normal and extra time, and the winner to face Uganda, who had already defeated Rwanda 1-0 in the other semi-final fixture, had to be decided on penalties. Kibera's Mashimoni All-Star and they are the inaugural 82 Ultimate Cup tournament champions following their triumph over Dandora Youth on post-match penalties at the Police Sacco Stadium. Mashimoni and Dandora had played to a 1-1 draw in regular time, pushing the match to extra time, where Mashimoni secured a 4-3 win over the Dandora representatives. The final was the culmination of the 3-day football extravaganza that brought together 8 teams from 8 different regions in Nairobi County. Well, with that, we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for watching Hope TV Newswatch. We really do appreciate the value of your time. On behalf of the whole team that made this broadcast a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Ken Kimaniå, and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation has been Boniface Moredi.